Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show. I am your host, Melissa P. Dunn, CEO of MD Marketing Network. We are indeed a healthcare and impact marketing agency. And we also specialize in helping individuals and brands who are socially conscious to take their brands to the next level so that they could do good and make money. I'm also the founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement, where I love to introduce you to women who are getting it done in life and business, women who are using their life as a testimony of what we know is good and wonderful in this world. And today, I'm going to talk to two women that are a part of my Women Getting It Done Facebook community that has about 800 and something women who are all on a journey to become the best versions of themselves, to show up in the world in a powerful way, knowing that it's important for them to prosper from the inside out. And today, I have two women who I personally love and admire and work with quite a bit. The first lady that I'm going to bring to the screen today, you guys, I'm going to introduce you to is Miss Kim Anthony. Now, let me tell you, Kim and I go way back. She has been on this show before. In fact, she was one of our original guests during COVID. Kim and I went to coaching school together. We both graduated from Ideal Coaching Global, and we were in a 7-figure mastermind together. So you know this sister is bad, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help me to welcome Miss Kim Anthony from urbanexcellence.net. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Melissa. Oh, my goodness. We go way back.
Go way back, girl.
Wow. It's like we have 42 jobs, man. We like, it wasn't just, I was like, we did do Ideal Coaching Global. And we did do a 7-figure mastermind. And then we did do major events and businesses and things together. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
What
and
blessing.
listen, we are so aligned. We both showed up in yellow today. Look
Right.
at that. Look at that. We connected, Kim. We
I
aligned,
close my
girl.
eyes and just okay, this is what it's going to be. So look at that.
So, Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you mentioned that we went to coaching school together. I've been in transformation, probably 4 decades. I'm right out of my, right out of high school, really. I was a foster kid at 18, left on a bus bench and with $150 to my name and the address to the welfare office, and a copy of Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And I was like, okay, which one am I going to do? And I couldn't go and convince someone that I couldn't. I don't know if that's something that my mom left in me. And so I decided to pursue personal development. And so after decades of just studying everything I can get my hands on to create a life that I can like myself for and be proud of, I became a master transformational trainer, trained literally thousands and thousands of people. And then I circled back to do coaching, which is where I met you.
Yeah.
Yes. So most recently, during COVID, we launched, although I graduated from Ideal Coaching Global, which is amazing ontological coaching. Hats off to Betty Spruill and the incredible team of coaches and trainers and mentors over there. I created Urban Excellence Institute and the Urban Excellence Coaching Academy. And the purpose of that, first of all, I just wanted to offer coaching to everybody. And during COVID-19, people were trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? Now that my whole industry has been wiped out in some cases, and I got overwhelmed. And I said, you know what, let me, train some comrades to help me serve this community, particularly people who don't have $500 a month for a coach. And we started the Urban Excellence Coaching Academy. And we didn't want to just do bootleg. We wanted to really deliver like core competencies, the International Coach Federation's eight core competencies, ethics and values, so they could be really competent coaches. And we went for accreditation, they went for certification, and we just graduated our first cohort.
Woo, 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 woo. I'm so proud of you. And I thank you, by the way, for asking me to be your commencement speaker for your graduation.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. You know what? Because urban communities like mine in Lauderhill could benefit from coaching. And that's what you do. You make coaching accessible and affordable to anybody who wants it by training people from the neighborhood.
Yes.
And then what I love about your model too, Kim, is that you did it in a way where the coaching was, because you had it sponsored, right? Am I correct?
Yes. I also have quite an extensive background in the nonprofit community. So,
and you helped me to get my 501c3, by the way, for the Uriel Wisdom Foundation for my Hibiscus Girls Leadership Academy. Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, indeed. That's one of 350 by now, 31 states. And so I wrote a grant, and I got our academy underwritten so that we could allow people to take on this this skill set. Coaching is a skill set.
You can
see it on the internet. You can get a Lamborghini. You can get a house on some of that. But for the most part, we just want people. We're real committed to having people stand for people and being the best versions of themselves. And if that looks like a Lamborghini, great. But if it has them stepping out on their purpose, or starting a business, or becoming a better parent, that's what we're committed to, or just figuring out their way forward. So it's not just for the elite and the wealthy, and that it's for anybody. I mean, especially people who are, I would say, transitioning out of poverty. It seems that the ones who need it the most, it was least accessible to. So I'm so grateful to be able to stand in that gap and have people who believe alongside with me to make that kind of difference.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Kim. We're going to bring you back on in a minute, but now I want to bring on my next guest, who you guys, she has been my ride or die on this show since day one. Miss Natasha Wright is the owner of the Diamond Butterfly Agency, and she has been the technical producer of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show since day one. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome another woman getting it done, Miss Natasha Wright. Hey, Natasha.
Hey, Melissa, thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to be in front of the camera.
Yes, because you're normally like, okay, do I have to be on camera? I don't want to be on camera.
Exactly.
So it's so good to see you. Now, you have been on the show before, Natasha, and you are actually transitioning. You've done some transitions since we last spoke, both from the agency side, and then you have a new, very exciting service that you're offering that's coming up too. So tell me, what transition have you made with the agency?
So with the agency, what I've really started to do is just really hone in and focus in more so on events. So prior to that, I was doing a lot of things related to events, or providing a lot of different services. So that might be social media management, Facebook ads, event management, production, and everything within that space. But this year or last year, I just really thought about, how could my services be more aligned with where my business is going, or where I would like for it to go. And so I realized that I had to take away some of the things in order for me to add more of the projects that I wanted to work on. And so what I did was really focus in and hone in on those services that I enjoy doing. And then also just being even more clear on the types of clients that I would want to work with. So before it was just like, well, anyone who wants, or needs my services. And then now as I'm in this space, I'm like, okay, I need to really hone in on, who are those clients that I'd like to work with. And it's, established business owners, city, nonprofit associations. And those are a lot of the clients that I've been working with over the past year and a half. So I figured, you know what, now is the time for me to make a more bold declaration about who I am working with, what are the services that I provided. And I, made a post on Facebook, and I literally just, posted my, cause I did a rebrand as well, to just, as I'm talking about just being in alignment, I felt like, okay, my previous branding didn't match this new version of myself and the new evolution of my business. So I rebranded and I posted about it on Facebook, and it was, sometimes you don't know how many likes or comments or engagement you're going to get from the post. So I really just posted it to let people know, as a declaration to myself as well, and a reminder to myself that this is the space that I'm in. And I got so many just comments and people saying they want to share, or how can they support me. So the feedback was really amazing. It was more than I had initially expected, especially for someone who I don't necessarily talk about what I'm doing or talk about myself that much. So for me to actually do that in and of itself was
a stretch for you.
It was a stretch for me.
Yeah. I remember, and I remember watching you making that transition, coming to the clarity. And I'm so proud of you, Natasha. I'm so proud of you. And so now you're taking that even to the next level with your Spirit of a Woman conference that you have coming up.
Yes. Yeah. And really, it's an extension of being even more aligned. So, as I talked about before, I felt like I needed, to be more aligned in the services that I offered. And so once I was no longer working with clients within those services I no longer wanted to offer, that now freed up more space and time for me to really think about, well, what are some things that within my business that I do want to work on, that I haven't worked on or have put on the back burner. And so one of them was Spirit of a Woman. I've been saying for however many years that
a long time, y'all.
Yeah,
a long time. I'm so proud of you. Yeah,
like probably like a year ago, and even prior to that, it was probably three years ago or so. And then Melissa did. I was in Melissa's Manifest 90 program, and one of the things is you had to pick, your one thing or your project that you're going to be working on. And so I'm like, you know what? I've been saying I want to do this thing for however long, and I haven't done it. So here's my one thing. And I truly believe that the level of accountability and support that I got within that program, really created like a container for me to just say, you know what? Well, there are other people who are in this program, and they're probably going to be asking me, well, what's going on with Spirit of a Woman? And Melissa's probably going to be asking me, well, what's going on with Spirit of a Woman? So let me just start putting the things in place to get moving on it, so that it could get out into the world. And I, started taking those steps, getting the branding together, and then it just took on a whole life of its own. So yeah, I'm super excited about what's coming up with that. So Spirit of a Woman is on August 24th to August 28th. It is a 5-day free virtual event for conscious or spiritual coaches, consultants, or service providers to really get to a place where they have a deeper understanding of themselves. So really have self-mastery, expand their consciousness so that you could be more spiritually connected, and also to elevate your business. So to learn, principles and tools and strategies for you to really take your business to the next level, not not from a perspective of, oh, you have to do this tactic and that strategy and this strategy, because all those strategies doesn't necessarily work for who you are. So it's how can you implement strategies that are actually in alignment with who you are, who you're designed to be, instead of what everybody else, all the rules that everybody else is telling you how to do it. So yeah.
You know, the thing that I think is so powerful, and I'm going to bring Kim back on so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But the thing that is so powerful is this word alignment, which is something that I hear the both of you talk about a lot. Alignment. Why is, first of all, Kim, from a coaching perspective, what is alignment and why is it so important?
Well, when I hear the word alignment, I hear really integrity. And when I say integrity, I don't mean being a good person. I mean having your actions line up, your actions, your thoughts, your energy, line your spirit practices line up with who it is that you say that you are committed to being. And nothing is more powerful than when someone is in alignment. It's just very attractive.
Yeah, I see it, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And a lot, even for me in my life and my practice, a lot shifted for me, opened up once I got clear and I got aligned. It's like it's a magic sauce, don't you think? And
Yeah.
the thing about it is, you know, I have my Lauderhill Shines program, right? And we teach entrepreneurs the mechanics of starting a business, the mechanics of scaling a business, the mechanics of getting clients, the mechanics of even, you know, managing people. All of that is taught in that class. But what we don't necessarily speak about is the inner work that you get to do first, because you can approach entrepreneurship from two places, right? You can approach it from a place of ease and grace or from hustle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth.
Or identity. You will never, I don't care if you have the intelligence, the smarts, the experience, you will never out achieve your identity.
That's a nugget you just dropped there, Kim. Break it down for us.
Who you've become, who you will not, your identity is like the barometer. So I don't care how much knowledge, how much research I've done, how much experience I've gathered or achieved. If I don't believe that I am of the echelon, I call it the echelon because I don't know if it's an amount of money, but it's an echelon. If I don't perceive myself as being the type of person that can do X, I sabotage. And it's so sneaky because it's not a like grandiose thing. You'll just find yourself doing other things. You'll find yourself surfing the net, or you'll find yourself doing something that you would even be rewarded and applauded for, helping other people. Great. You'll find yourself doing what you are supposed to do, what you're committed to doing for someone else's business, but not your own.
Yes. That's so true. I know that we have my co-hosts watching today. So let's say hi to some of them. I see Miss Joy is on, and Miss Joy says, welcome, welcome, welcome. And she also says, hey, Natasha. And then we have someone in our Women Getting It Done Facebook group that's saying, welcome to you, Miss Kim. And then also agreeing that's saying, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Listen, co-hosts, I thank you for watching. Keep the comments coming. If you have a question that you want to ask Natasha or Kim, please drop it in the chat. Join the conversation. We have about another 10 minutes to get them to drop some words of wisdom. So let me ask you this. What was Kim, I see, I know that you made a shift in your brand, right? And Natasha, you made a shift in your brand as well. What was it that made you decide to pivot, to shift?
I wanted to kind of piggyback off of what Kim was talking about in terms of like all the things, but you kind of have to have this whole like new identity. So I remember when I hired my first business coach, right? I actually won a business coach in initial package, and I started working with the person, and he was telling me all the things that I needed to do. You need to send out this many emails, call this many clients, da, 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 da. And it was very like, hey, you're gonna do this and that and that and that. You know what I mean? And for me, what I recognize within that is that like it wasn't in alignment with me, and there was something deeper that I need to get over in order for me. I'm saying I want to work with these types of clients, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, like subconsciously, like I'm thinking, well, I don't know if I can work with these clients. Like I want to work with, corporations. I want to work with cities. I want to work with more established business owners. But I felt like I wasn't far enough along for me to be able to work with all these people or those clients, right? And the perspective that he took it from was, okay, well, you need to call this many people and you need to reach out to these people and all of that, all of those things. And then, so once I went through that process with him, I realized, no, there's something else here. There's a blind spot, like energetically for me, that I need to release. And so instead, I hired a spiritual coach, which was a completely different
approach. Different approach. Yeah.
It was nothing about, well, this is what you need to do and that's what you need to do. Like we would get on the call, and sometimes I would be like, I would think to myself, does she even have a plan? Does she even know? You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to have like these steps, like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here it is. It's a situation. So what's going on with you, Stay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then from there, she would dig deeper into like whatever was going on. And then from next thing you know, I'm crying. And next thing you know, I'm like unearthing like different things that I'm dealing with and some of my internal challenges and struggles and dealing with like me not necessarily feeling worthy. So I think sometimes that approach is not valued as much because it doesn't come with the 10 things you need to do to grow your business. This is what you do to get to 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever the case may be. It's more of an internal shift that you need to make. And within that, and she was like, okay, so write down what it is. Like it was a very more of a creative flow approach. And she would tell me, well, write down who you'd like to work with, who are these people, what do they look like? And then from there, like those people started to come
up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I didn't have to go call the 10 people. I didn't have to, and not to say that you're not going to do the work, but it becomes like you were saying, it becomes more of a grace, ease, and flow to what you do and how you attract people, as opposed to a go, hustle, grind, kill it, crush it in your business.
Yeah. And then I think even about how we met Natasha, and then what we've been able to create together, again, from that space of an alignment. And then once you're aligned and you'll get the inspiration. And from a space of inspiration, then you take action and you'll see things move like that. What about you, Kim?
Another thing, to Natasha's point, I would assert that Natasha showed up.
Yes.
Waiting for her to show up. There she is.
Yeah.
And we're on the same page. I decided to do me, and I almost feel a little irresponsible to say this, but I decided to do me at 1,000%. And in this industry, people charge thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's worth it, absolutely. But I wanted my people. I wanted people who don't have thousands and thousands, but they're still working on their lives. And it was, I felt like it might be unpopular or I don't know, but That's me. These are my people. These are the people who raised me. And they get to be the best versions of themselves. I'll give you a quick statistic. This is for California. The 2020 census, 27.49% of people in Black people look like me, sorry, in California are living below the poverty line. Almost a third. But we don't look the part, honey. We show up fabulous. We show up suited and booted.
Yes.
So what about them? What about them? They get to not only excel, but their gifts, talents, skills, and abilities get to impact and empower the communities in which they live. So, and it's like, I don't see it, I don't see much of that, but it's me.
Listen, I am so in awe of you both. Kim, every time I talk to you, that's why we were in that 7-figure mastermind together, because every time I talk to you, I walk away feeling like, wow, some sort of inspiration. And what you're doing in Los Angeles with your school is phenomenal. And I would love for you to do that in Lauderhill too, girl. Whenever you're ready, come to Florida.
Absolutely. We're virtual.
Yeah, I love it. Let's bring in our co-host right now. Thank you so much. I do believe that this is a good show too. And so this Facebook, and she's in the Women Getting It Done Facebook group. So if you could type your name so we know who we're talking to. Says you will never out-achieve your identity. Kim Anthony was profound. How do you define your identity? She wants to know, Kim.
It's the thoughts and beliefs about who you are and who you're not. Period. Then. Who you think you are, who you think you're not, and your relationship to your environment, your relationships to what is possible and what's not possible. Girls like me don't go to Harvard. People with my background don't do X. We don't start schools. You know what I mean? So it's who I think I am, who I think I am not, and then related to what I think is possible or not possible in the earth or in the world.
Listen, Kim, I'm going to say this because I happen to know you and know your story. And so those two examples that you gave, girls like me don't go to Harvard. You went to Harvard. Hello. We're talking about foster kid now. From LA, you went to Harvard. And then girls like me don't start their school. And what are you doing? You're starting your school. Listen.
Accredited by the International Coach Federation.
Love it.
Like that last part, Kim, say it again. Certified by?
We are accredited by the International Coach Federation. There are lots of coaches, lots of coach schools out there, but a very small amount of schools comparatively that are certified and accredited by the International Coach Federation, because they have a level of excellence. And I wanted our graduates to be able to work corporate, to be able to work in government, to be able to work, create profitable coaching practices, but really serve our community in such a with excellence. Excellence. They need to know what they are doing. So,
I love it. I love it. And so, Kim, one final word of wisdom, what would that be?
Oh boy. Live in purpose. Don't follow passion. Follow purpose. And in your purpose, you will find your passion. And if you're on purpose, I heard Natasha speak about, the spirit. God will tell you where it is. See, all that looking and searching and God will tell you where to search. God will tell you where to set down your nets. So follow purpose. Follow purpose.
I love that. I love that. It's follow purpose, he says. So, Natasha, what about you? What would your final words of wisdom be?
My final word or words of wisdom is, if you get that if you hear that internal voice telling you to do something, you should just do it. Step out and do it, because you really don't know where that's going to lead. And so it's great. It's something that we should all practice, is to follow our intuition. And when you hear that voice, even though you might not necessarily know how you're going to get it done, or you might be nervous or afraid of taking that first step, just take the first step and then see where it leads. Because sometimes most of the times, you never really see the full picture of what it is that you're meant to do. But you have to trust yourself enough to take that first step and know that you'll figure it out, and that all the resources will be provided to you, that you're not going to fail. And really, even if you think that you're failing, it's really just you learning and growing and evolving into the higher, biggest version of yourself. So take that first step. That's my words of wisdom.
I love that. I love that. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today for this really amazing, powerful conversation. And thank you to my co-hosts for joining us today. I want to invite you to share this video. I want to invite you, if you know of someone who would benefit from coaching, share this video. If you know someone who would benefit from getting more in tune and getting more aligned, share this video. Thank you so much for joining. Again, my name is Melissa P. Dunn, CEO of MD Marketing Network and founder of DunnWisdom.com. And I want to remind you, you are amazing. You are destined for greatness. You are best. You are blessed beyond measure. So remember, be kind and loving to yourself today. You deserve it.